for our study and chill series for the CISSP. All right. Been a little while, but we're back. Let me. For some reason, give me a second. One of my like LinkedIn is not showing up. Why I don't know. Let's see if I could try to get it back real fast. If not, we'll just press forward. One second. And I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everyone had a great weekend. All right, let's see. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure why it's not working. All right. Well, if you are joining, if you're part of the community on Discord, um, if you're not already, see if, well, for one, why not? And you need to come through and be part of the community. Um, da-da-da. Right. All right. So let's go ahead and get this going. So, yeah, as we always do, 1 hour, 30 questions. Um, uh, as we prepare for the CISSP exam, want to shout out Pocket Prep, Talo Cyber's partner, as we continue to provide good content and help you get prepared for your next certification. All right, so let me get this set up and going. So as I get this, so as I mentioned, yeah, over the weekend, ran my second 5K race out in DC. And the weather folks, they let me down. Um, they told me this all week leading up to this weekend that it's gonna be warm, it's gonna be 70s, 80s, whatnot. I'm like, cool, all right, so go have a warm race. Because mind you, I ran in DC to begin the year. Um, in January, yeah, January 1st, and I ran that race. I mean, of course, it was cold. I mean, as you would expect, it's January here in the DMV. Um, but I was thinking, okay, we were starting to warm up a little bit, so I figured we would get a break with that. But no, it was like 40 and a little bit of rain, like a little misty. It wasn't heavy, but then it eventually went away. So, well, like I said, it was cold, but you know, but I prepared. Still came prepared, and that's why I always check the weather every day. But yeah, it would have been nice if we had the warm weather, especially right now. Like today's in the 70s, high 70s. I don't know if it cracked 80, but it was close. Today was a warm day. I had to turn the AC on, so there it is. All right, let me get this up. All right, all right. Let me move this out the way. Okay, expand that, and you know what? Let me before I go. Let me send the invite out into LinkedIn real fast because for some reason it didn't push out to LinkedIn. right. I just shared it out on my LinkedIn. So again, if you're looking to join in on this live session, come through. Let me check my Discord. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. All right. Jim is a facility manager for a national hotel chain. His organization enforces heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, or HVAC, maintenance to different vendors across the country. Some of the vendors request to have monitoring equipment installed on the location they support. What is the most critical step before allowing the vendors to install monitoring equipment? Choose the answer that is the most thorough and long term approach to ensure vendor installations are a sustainable practice for the hotel chain. All right. Um, let me adjust my layout real quick. Boom. Okay. Oh, I see LD just joined. Good evening, sir. Welcome.
Good evening, Doc. This my last week.
Oh, wait. Does that mean you passed it?
No,
Oh,
I'm taking it.
you about to take it?
Yep.
Okay. Uh,
Yep.
you taking it this week?
Next Monday.
Next Monday. Okay. All right, man. I'm rooting for you. So
Yeah.
we got this.
I'm
All right.
hoping.
Had a little technical difficulty, so I started up a little late, but we're going with
Oh,
this first one here.
no problem.
All right. So, so they're asking you what's the most critical step before allowing vendors to install monitoring equipment. Uh, yeah, I would say it has to be alpha. You want to verify their credentials
Yeah, I
before
would say
allowing them to install equipment for the first time. Um,
B is tempting, but I think it's A. They want to verify first.
yeah, I mean, and I would think that involves like background checks and stuff like that, verify their business, checking websites.
Yeah,
Wow, it's Delta.
first. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I can see that
I
because it's everything. It's all of them. You can
yeah,
verify. You
because
can
I
require.
was looking at that too. I was like, supply chain. I mean that's definitely viable. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah, I ain't look at D. I looked at A and B, and then I was like,
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, yeah, supply chain definitely makes sense. I just
yeah,
I get yeah the most critical. Um, all right, so I'm gonna say so. What tripped me up with this because they say what's the most critical step before allowing vendors to install monitoring equipment. So that means to me, that's how I'm interpreting it. That they're like before you. So whether like you have them on the phone or they're getting ready to come to your facility to your site, I'm thinking right then and there that you want to, like I say, you want to verify their credentials, or or maybe they're right, maybe they're there at your site already, and before you give them any access, you double check, you check their IDs and stuff like that. I mean, because establishing a supply chain risk management program, I mean, that's not a quick thing to do. I mean, you know that's gonna take time. That's a whole program you're trying to set up, not checking IDs. So that's but the second one says, yeah, answer that's the most thorough and long term. So the supply chain will be long term. All right. A Fagan inspection is a formal code review that sends code through a detailed review and testing process that includes how many steps?
Is it six?
I think it was six. Yeah. Yeah. Planning, overview, preparation, inspection, rework, and follow up. All right. Which of the following frameworks is most likely used to establish effective security governance?
COVID. Scrum is
No,
application common
Scrum. Yeah, Scrum.
criteria is
Yeah, it's not Scrum.
it's not Scrum is not common criteria. It's COVID.
I wouldn't quickly dismiss common criteria, um, but common criteria is not a framework. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Common criteria. Yeah, it's the name used for International Standards Organization 5408 standard. So that standard is a testing criterion for security products is designed as an independent third party testing mechanism, also good for software developers to use, especially if they want to achieve a higher score when tested against common criteria. So again, yeah, that's not a framework. So I think that was the biggest key there. Um, yeah, COBIT control objectives for information related technology created for the Information Systems Audit and Control Association, or ISACA. It's a framework used to establish security governance within an organization. All right. Hierarch- a hierarchical storage management or HSM system does which of the following? All right. Looking at Alpha.
I'm
I
looking at A or D.
Yeah. I don't think it's Bravo or Charlie. Um, it's different storage. I think it's between Alpha and Delta. Uh, hierarchical. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Alpha. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so the HSM system dynamically manages data across different storage media to optimize for access, speed, or media cost. This technology is frequently used in backup solutions. For example, HSM will transfer last week's backup from solid state drives to spindle drives, and after a month, it may transfer to a tape. So, because it can transfer data between different media, the answers with exclusively in it are not correct. Yeah, and that's what stuck out to me. I think yeah, exclusively took it. It just eliminated those choices for me. All right, Acme Incorporated uses RBAC. Which of the following is most likely to determine what systems a user can access and the user's privileges on those systems?
Wouldn't there be job titles?
Role based authentication. Sorry, I'm just guys can still see. Okay, good. Um, yeah, so yeah, they use role base. Yeah, it's gonna be job title. Yep. Yeah, system that employs RBAC maps a subject's role with their needed operations and tasks, meaning users are assigned roles and not resources. Therefore, if an organization uses RBAC, job titles are likely to determine access rights. All right, Martina is testing a new application that a company is developing. She is trying a testing technique that posts thousands of different inputs into the software to determine its limits and potential flaws. What form of testing is this? This should be
Would that be
fuzzy.
static?
No.
Hold
Cause look, it says she's testing. She's trying to test a technique that pulls thousands of different inputs into the software. So you're trying to like you're doing a stress test.
Oh, that's misuse case then. It ain't dynamic.
No,
Wait, no.
cause I
Fuzz.
was looking at fuzzing.
Fuzz. Yeah, fuzz. I'm
Cause
about to say it's not
misuse
dynamic.
is like where you're intentionally like putting incorrect, I guess choices for lack of a better term. They're close. Uh, but yeah, but I believe this is fuzzing that posts thousands of different inputs into the software. Yeah. Yeah, fuzzing,
Yeah,
tending
it's
to find
fuzzing.
yeah, you do is to find flaws. Yeah, that's why I think of it like a stress test. See when they talk about its limits. So misuse case testing process for testing software from the perspective of a user misusing the software or a bad actor using it maliciously. So the purpose is to find a way to exploit any bad code in the software that can be exploited from running software. Static testing or static application security testing analyzes the software in a static or non-running condition. So what it analyzes is the software code. Dynamic testing or dynamic application security testing analyzes the software in a dynamic or running condition. Similar to misuse, similar to misuse, although the purpose to is to test the functionality in some way, not to exploit it as misuse case and testing does. When discussing the central processing unit architecture, what best describes the role of a register?
Is it D?
When discussing the CPU architecture, what best describes the role of a register? And you said D, you said Delta.
A list of adjustable random. Hold on. No, let me take that back.
I'm currently looking at Charlie.
A temporary storage location for instructional sets. Yeah, I think that'll be C.
Yeah. Yeah, register is a temporary storage location on the CPUs used to store instruction sets. When a CPU executes on instruction set, it loads it from the register. And a hierarchical database stores low-level settings for the operating system, as known as Windows Registry and Windows Microsoft Windows operating systems. Um, list of RAM locations can be referred to as a memory map. And that is a structural diagram that details the specifics of how memory is organized and utilized within a computing environment. And excuse me, the, arith- the arithmetic logic unit is the component of a computer processor that performs arithmetic and bitwise operations on the data it processes. All right, so data loss prevention is an important aspect of preventing sensitive data from exiting a network without authorization. What is most likely to be the first step in choosing a data loss prevention solution?
First, there should be an inventory.
Yeah, because you need to know what you have.
Or what do you, yeah, what you have first, and then you research it, then you select, and then you conduct. So yeah, I go with inventory. Um,
Inventory sensitive data. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Duke, you want to conduct that inventory. That's going to be the first step in selecting a means of data loss prevention. By understanding what sensitive data you need to protect, then you can choose the best way to do so. An employee has been appointed as the responsible party for directing or indirectly managing the life cycle of a set of data, exclude and modify and policies already set within a company. This includes assigning access to individuals based on their roles or attributes. What role has this employee most likely been appointed to?
Holy. Uh, Directly, indirectly manage the life cycle of a set of data. Exclude, modify.
So it
Well, we know
includes
it's not the data owner.
assigning access to individuals based on their roles and attributes.
Well, you know what? Assigning access to individual
Yeah,
based on.
it says the responsible party for directly or indirectly that should be owner.
You know
And
what? That first part is a throw off, a decoy. Yeah, I
yeah,
think it'll be owner.
yeah,
The first
responsible
part is
for
a
direct.
decoy. The
So yeah, you imagine the life cycle of a set of data. So from start to end.
yeah,
So you're ultimately responsible. Yeah, that's owner.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. The first part was a decoy.
What the first sentence?
First sentence, yeah.
I don't know. I think that was the clue. It's a
Oh,
at least to me, because when it said, yeah, they said as a
oh, okay,
responsible party. To me, and managing the life cycle. That's from beginning to end. The person that's ultimately responsible. The only person on here that does that is the owner.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man,
So yeah, to me that was a clue. All right. If there is a cloud customer who is looking for a service that would allow them to build an application for Apple's macOS platform when they are a Microsoft Windows shop, which service type should they use?
would that be infrastructure as a service?
Cloud customer is looking for a service that would allow them to build an application.
Oh no, 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 no. Let me take that back. Now,
That should be software.
software, software as a service,
Allow them to
because it's
build
an
an
application. So yeah, software as a service.
when they are Microsoft shop. What service type should they use? Wait, let me read this again. If a cloud customer who's looking for a service that would allow, so the customer was looking for the capability to allow them to build an application for Apple's, um, let's say their app store. When they are a Microsoft Windows shop, what service type should they use? Uh, I
I
think
think
this might be platform.
looking for Apple platform when they're Microsoft Windows shop. Well, it says platform there, so I'll go with C.
Yeah, at first I was thinking SaaS, but I don't think that's really describing SaaS.
We was looking at application, build an application, but
Yeah, because so this person works for Apple, but they try or no, they're trying to build an Apple platform, but they're
mm,
they're a Windows shop.
yeah,
Yeah, I think this is Charlie.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, platform as a service has two options: server based and serverless. So for this scenario, server based is the choice. Technically, they would not be purchasing a server, but rather a virtual Mac OS device. Serverless is used to run an application or function without the annoyance of dealing with server operating system. All right, which of the following software development models is best characterized by rigid linear progression? Uh,
Waterfall.
yeah. Um, yeah, waterfall does not go back.
Yeah,
Yeah. Waterfall model contains all the steps required to take a project from conception to completion. Generally, you cannot skip or go back to steps using the waterfall model. All right, which of the following rules is accountable for determining how and why personal data is processed under the General Data Protection Regulation or GDPR?
Hmm. I'm looking at how and why personal
Per-
data is processed.
accountable
Wouldn't that be the
to
controller?
determine how and why personal data is processed under the GDPR.
Oh, wait a minute. How and why personal data is processed?
I think this is processor. Accountable, accountable for determining how and why personal data is processed.
And no, it's not the subject, and kind of know
No,
it's not. I don't think it's the custodian.
no, custodian doesn't process the data that's coming in.
Yeah.
Um, Custodian is like a guardian for the, to allow access to it. Yeah, I think this is processor. Oh man, accountable for determining how and why personal data is processed under the GDPR. It was controller.
Controller, yeah. Only reason I didn't think processor because the processor, if it was transferred from one end to the other, I would have probably said processor, but it wasn't. And I was thinking, I was like, well, probably it'd probably be the controller.
Yep. Yeah, so the data processor is an entity that processes data on behalf of the data controller, following its instructions and does not have an independent authority over the data, nor does it determine why the data is processed. Security analyst has completed a vulnerability scan of their workplace during non-business hours per management request. Upon complete Upon completing the scan, the security analyst determined that multiple data servers within the offices had not been patched in months and were open to an SSL vulnerability. What is the best course of action?
Hmm. No, I know it's not A. You're just not going to deploy them as soon as possible after you evaluate them.
I'm looking at Charlie.
Submit a change request, evaluate. Yeah, I'll say C. Yeah, I'll go with C. You submit a change request, evaluate and test patches first, and then
Yeah,
I've heard that too many times. Not just not to do that.
right. All right. When using a redundant array of independent disks or RAID, which RAID level will always reduce your raw capacity by 50%? Oh,
Would it be
man.
5? Strip it with parity.
I uh, I thought it was one. Um,
Mirroring is 1. Stripping is 0.
yeah, but what does that mean as far as raw capacity?
That's a good question.
Um,
I think it's 5, but maybe I wasn't getting nothing wrong. Just well, yeah, I need to get if it's wrong. I need to find out why whatever it was right. I think it's 5, but I'm very.
all right, we could try five. Let's see.
It was 1. Yeah, it
One.
was mirror.
Yeah, RAID 1, also known as mirroring, data is ran on two drives at once. If one fails, the other drive still has all the data.
Ah,
RAID 1 requires that you lose 50% of your total raw storage. Yeah, RAID 1 data is mirrored between two identical drives. This provides redundancy. However, your usable storage is reduced by 50% of your total storage. RAID 0 is striped between a set of drives without parity. So this increases your risk of data loss. So if one drive fails, the entire RAID will fail. However, it increases your usable storage and write speed. So it's faster, you get more storage back, but then it's
yeah,
higher risk because once it fails, it's a wrap.
yeah,
At least one, you still have one. So if one fails, you can still move forward because you had that redundancy, because it does mirroring, but you have to sacrifice your raw storage for that to make
yeah.
up for that.
Man.
It's a good question. I don't think I've had it asked that way before.
Hmm.
Um, Jamal is a security engineer for a manufacturing organization. He is concerned about data integrity at the data link layer of his organization's Ethernet network. Of the following, what best provides integrity at the data link layer?
Would it be two? I mean, B.
What provides integrity at the data link layer?
But uh TLS is transport layer. WEP, I'm gonna look at B because WEP is, hold up, could be WEP. Well, I know A and D is not.
You start about data integrity at the data link layer of the organization's Ethernet network. So IPsec would be when you're transferring data going across an unsecured medium. So you're using that to for example, they're using VPN. Um, you would see IPsec utilized in that fashion. TLS would be at your not transport, but
Transport, it'll be on the transport side.
I want to say application, but I don't think that's right.
Hold on.
Or presentation.
Nah, Riverside 4 is not. Oh no, that's confidential. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with B.
Yeah. Yeah, so 802.1 AE, also known as MACSEC, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers standard that provides confidentiality and integrity at the data link layer of the OSI model. MACSEC adds additional headers to the frame that identify that it has been protected with MACSEC. Um, yeah, IPsec is incorrect because it operates at the in a protocol layer, the OSI model. TLS is wrong because it operates at, yeah, you were right. Yeah, it operates at the transport and presentation layers of the OSI model.
And
So
I thought about, well, it is wireless. I just
yeah,
thought about it.
web protects wireless connections, not Ethernet, because it's giving you the equivalency of a wired connection. It's not a wired, you know.
Yeah.
So all right, which of the following is based on providing a system where access duration is limited and is given um, to others at a later time?
Wouldn't that be least privilege?
Access is limited and given to others at a later time. No, I think it's just job rotation
Job rotation.
because least privilege would
Oh,
be
okay.
giving
Yeah,
someone the
I
minimum
get it.
amount of access to do their role. Nothing less and nothing
Limited
more.
amount, yeah. And it did say a later time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. Before calling law enforcement about a suspected crime committed on a computer, who should give authorization?
Shouldn't be a senior management.
Yeah. Yeah. Senior manager should give the
Yeah.
green light. Yep. Yeah. Involving law enforcement is complicated. Sometimes it is legally mandated, but in certain circumstances, it can lead to incidents becoming public. So senior management should always be consulted before law enforcement is involved. CISSP should remember that the ISC square code of ethics never allowed themselves to become culpable for a crime. All right. Of the following, which would be an example of a type one error for a biometric system?
That's a false acceptance rate. Type 2 is false rejected. So I'll say B, an invalid subject is authenticated. Oh man, a valid subject. Oh, false accepted. A valid subject is authenticated, not authenticated.
Yeah,
Did I
valid.
hit me right? Yeah, yeah, it is a false acceptance. Oh, it's a false
But
rejection. Type 1 is false rejection. So I got that wrong. I got
yeah,
the types
yeah.
mixed up.
So a valid subject is not authenticated. So they should have access, but they're being rejected.
Yeah, so I
So
was
that's a
backwards
false.
with it.
So that's a FRR, false rejection rate. Type two is false acceptance. So an invalid subject is authenticated. So a person who should not have access who gets access. So that's a false acceptance or type two. All right, which type of access control is a smart card?
It'll be preventative. Yeah, preventative. Because a smart
Yeah,
card prevents you from going places.
yeah. Preventive access controls attempt to stop or interrupt unauthorized attempts to gain access. Um, Examples of this of these access controls include fences, locks, biometrics, man traps, lighting, alarm systems, separation of duties, policies, encryption, auditing, and others. A smart card is an example of a preventative access control because it prevents unauthorized activity. When discussing firewall architecture, which of the following best describes a screen subnet? All right, it's not alpha.
Bravo or Charlie? Hold up. Screen
I think this is delta.
Delta, yeah, because I always say it's protected.
Ah,
Oh, it was three networks
three
created
networks
using
creating
supervisors of
two.
firewall.
A screen subnet creates three networks using two routers or firewalls. The internal trusted network, the network attached to the external untrusted network, usually the internet, and last one, the network usually referred to as a demilitarized zone or DMZ.
That's
All right, a row or one record in a relational database is called a what?
would it be a tuple?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, tuples or records represent the rows of a table in a relational database. Tuple is an ordered list of elements. For instance, when querying a list of customers, each customer record with all of its attributes is called a tuple. All right. Which of the following is most likely to grant access in a discretionary access control or DAC model?
The owner?
Which font is like classic grade access? Yeah, it should be the owner. Yep. Owner's gonna have ultimate responsibility. All right. Of the following, which best describes a script kiddie?
See, this kind of throw me off right here.
Um,
I want to say A, but I'm like, man, I hope this is right.
yeah, yeah, this is alpha. Yeah, it's there between alpha and bravo. So unskilled, who uses tools, exploit. Um, yeah. Wow.
C is B. That's why I was like, I don't know why that. I was like, I want to say alpha, but I couldn't because
Cause I guess I learned like script kiddies. Yeah, they don't have much skills, but they just do kind of the basics to kind of show
yeah,
that they can do something, or
and a skill person uses tools too to exploit vulnerabilities. Be honest with
yeah.
you, a
That's why I seen
penetration
this
tester
seems
does
kind of
that.
yeah. To me, I thought it was more aligned with alpha because they just want to show that they can, like I said, like low level hacking. You know what I mean? Like to show that they could do something. So that it doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna get paid.
I was like, that's the
They
one
just
I
kind of
really
do it for
want to
like for bragging
question.
rights.
Yeah, that's why I said that's the one I really want to question because I feel like if you're looking at it on both ends, you could get this wrong easily. Also on the test or on another test because an unskilled threat actor who uses tools to exploit vulnerabilities is also a penetration tester too.
Right. But
So it,
they wouldn't be unskilled though. For penetration
yeah,
tester, they definitely skilled.
yeah. But this I was like, it's just this was just was difficult.
Yeah. All right. Stealthy Security Suites and Beats wants to implement runtime application self protection for any new software being introduced into the workplace. What best describes what runtime application self protection or RASP does for cybersecurity in a business? What does runtime application self protection does for cybersecurity in a business?
I want to say B follows a program as it runs to ensure each function and to spot and prevent unusual um, behavior.
I like that one. Checking the others.
A just don't have nothing that deals with security. I mean protection. Um, C is protection, but it's still not running. Like it doesn't give me a good information of how to run. D seems like code review, but that's why I'm looking
Yeah.
at B.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, RASP is a security application. Ensures all software runs as it should and does not exclude behavior that may be malicious. So RASP digs into the code associated with the program, views what is set to occur at runtime, and determines if it's malicious. All right, with remote jobs becoming more popular than ever, security managers need to find a method to allow employees to securely complete work in a remote area. Management is concerned about allowing such practices as they may include serious security vulnerabilities and risks if not properly implemented. What will be the most likely method used to reduce potential security issues arising from remote work and unauthorized access to files and data?
Let's see.
They need to find a method to allow employees to securely complete work in a remote area. Managing concern about allows
Look
employees
like attribute B.
Yeah.
Huh?
Management concern about allows as they may include serious security
Yeah.
risk not. What would be the most likely method to use to reduce potential security issues arising from remote work? Yeah, I don't think it's alpha. Um, it's not going to be delta. Find methods to securely work in a remote area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bravo. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't think that role based made sense for this.
Yeah. Rule. When I looked at when they said vulnerabilities, I was like, there got to be attribute.
Mhm. Yeah, so attribute based access control is the most detailed access control method because it can be customized with the most variety and be tailored to the smallest detail to meet the needs of the organization. All right, what will be the text? What will be the text of cat look like when encrypted used in the Caesar cipher?
No, it's not B. V.
It's gonna be alpha because it's
F.
three over to the right.
Yeah.
So C D E F, uh, A is B C D, and T.
UVW. Yeah. A. FDW.
Yep. Yeah, great example of a substitution cipher. All right, which of the following is least likely to be a valid form of website or service monitoring? Which of the following is least likely to be a valid form of website or service monitoring?
I know active monitoring and real user monitoring. Could be firewall monitoring. I know active and synthetic is one because you got active passive and you do have synthetic monitoring too.
So let's say for website or service monitoring, I would say Charlie.
I'm looking at Bravo. I don't know why.
You're thinking firewall?
Yeah.
Least likely to be a form of website or service monitoring. 'Cause I guess I just don't see how really user monitoring fits with the rest.
Mm,
I mean, I could be wrong, but we'll see. Yep,
yep.
you're right.
Firewall. I knew active and synthetic was one. I've seen real user monitoring,
Uh,
but
so, yeah, real user monitoring analyzes the traffic uh, or status of transactions for real user traffic, also known as passive monitoring. Real user monitoring provides real time updates on the status of user interactions for a given service. All right. Which of the following is a standard data state?
data in
Data
motion.
in motion.
Yeah. Data in transit.
Yeah, data in for the other ones, data in transit, data in use, and data at rest. All right. The information technology department at a major organization is searching for a secure way to host a web server to simplify the company's workflow and relay information to the public as quickly as possible. However, management recognizes the risk with web servers and source code vulnerabilities. What can management and IT refer to for securing their web servers?
Hmm. Web servers, you say?
Yeah,
I want to go with C. I don't know why.
I was looking at that. Um, the risk with web servers and source code
You
vulnerabilities.
know, matter of fact, I'm getting a little, I believe it is C.
All right, let's see. Yeah. So the OWASP top 10 is a list of the 10 most popular web application risks. So among the list are insufficient logging, security misconfiguration, and user components with known vulnerabilities. So these are risks associated with any business. So educated employees properly will ensure these issues and many more not on the list are significantly reduced. All right, when discussing voice over IP or VoIP, what protocol carries encrypted media packets? Oh man, I believe it's SIP.
I believe it is too. The
Um,
question is which SIP? I think it's secure. Oh man.
no, I don't think it's the. I think it's
No,
Charlie.
SRTP.
You know what? I think you're right. When discussing VoIP, what protocol carries encrypted media packets? Secure real-time transport protocol. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you're discussing VoIP and a session initiation protocol suite. It's crucial to distinguish between signaling and media traffic. Signaling references the traffic that controls and establishes the connection. SIP is what is used to set up the telephone call by notifying each party how to reach each other. We still use phone numbers to place calls on the data network, even though the data network does not use phone numbers. It's necessary to resolve the address difference by linking the phone number to the IP or the interprotocol address. The media traffic is the actual audio broken up into packets. So by default, media traffic uses the real-time transfer protocol or RTP. If the media traffic needs to be encrypted, secure real-time transport protocol or SRTP can be used. So SRTP does not encrypt the signaling traffic. All right. Yeah, and secure internet protocol is not a real protocol. I figured so. And neither is session initiation protocol secure. That's fake as well. Let's see how we did.
77.
All right. It's cert.
It's a servant, man. I just
Got seven wrong. Let's see. Yeah.
that's the one we should have just looked at the whole. I should, and now I'm learning. Now I gotta look at the whole question and answer
Yeah.
before I jump at it. That's gonna be my. I hope that don't be my Achilles heel for Monday.
Yeah, this was
Data
data
controller.
controller.
That one I did. One, which is
Is
mirroring,
one.
which
Yeah, one is going to
makes
use.
sense now.
So maybe you think of it to a good way to remember like one. So rate of one is going to use one half because it's going to use
Yeah.
half of your
Rate
standard data.
zero.
Yeah, zero. You're gonna is it. You know, you don't sacrifice
No.
any raw capacity, but you. That's a higher risk because if, like I said, if it goes down, then everything goes down. It's a wrap. There's no redundancy. One has redundancy. One is mirroring. Zero is striping. And this was yeah FRR. yeah, false rejection rate for type 1. Type
Yeah.
2 is far false acceptance rate.
So type one is false
F,
rejection. Type two is false acceptance.
right.
Okay.
This one,
Green subnet. Oh man.
yeah. Three networks created using two routers or firewalls. So you got the internal trusted network. Network is attached to the external untrusted network, and the
The
network usually
GMZ.
referred to as a DMZ.
So screen subnet has a DMZ.
Mhm. Yeah, script kiddie. Um,
That's still gonna get me to this.
I don't think I really like this one. um, and that's good. I don't know. I Yeah, I didn't like this one.
Yeah.
I really thought that was alpha. Um, yeah, which one? Yeah, firewall monitoring. Yeah, because I chose Rum. I thought it was really user, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
firewall. Yeah, it does not. Yeah, yeah, determine firewall status and firewall status and statistics. It doesn't monitor websites or services, and that is all. All right, all
So
right, good
yeah.
job. Um, all right, so you say you're locked in. You say what? You taking it what Monday? You said next Monday.
Yep. Monday.
Okay,
Pass or fail. If I pass, it's good. If I fail, I'm taking it again. I ain't gonna lie. I'm too close.
I hear you, man. Look,
Well, I know it's expensive, but I'm way too close.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what's scaring me is the price.
Yeah.
I'm eventually going. No, I need to take it. And I need me more brave like you and go ahead and schedule it because to me I should have scheduled it already. But I think that's what it's really going to take is just schedule it and then really lock in.
Yeah.
Um, but no, yeah, I want to. Yeah, I need to take it. I just need to make it happen. That's what it is. But
Yeah.
uh, but no, man, I'm rooting for you. So
Man.
I'm confident you're gonna get it. Just continue to work on those questions. Really focusing on the ones you get wrong. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
wrong or right, but especially the ones you get wrong. Understand why it's wrong. Um, be able, I think one of the best things too is like if you're able to explain it. You're able to explain to someone that's a good way for you to retain that information.
Yeah.
So, but nah, man, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
like I said, best of luck to you as you take it.
Hey,
Um,
no problem.
and what I'm gonna do this week, I'm gonna change it up. I know Wednesdays do Security Plus, but gonna do CISSP on Wednesday, but it'll be inside the Discord within the command line. So
Okay.
let's look for that schedule change this week.
No problem.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, thank you. Thanks everyone watching, and I'll catch you next week.
All right.
All right, y'all. Later.